The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Day 14 of the government shutdown. Chaos still reigns in Washington. We'll have the very latest with Brit and a prediction from me, your humble correspondent.
Of course, Republicans leapt to pin that one on the president as well.
While most of the press played the military family debacle in a fair way, not everybody did. Bernie Goldberg has the list of offenders.
When Hillary Clinton was a senator, what do you think her primary accomplishment was?
I have to remember that for?
And Waters World travels to Hillary Clinton's hometown to see exactly what they think of her.
What has she accomplished?
You tell me.
Caution. You are about to enter the no spin zone. The Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. The Talking Points memo will be in our second segment. It's about how the national media covered the military family's debacle. But first, day 14 of the government shutdown, and I don't know what is going on. So I have to bring in Fox News senior political analyst Brit from what? It's embarrassing. I don't know, Hume. Tell me what? Are they friends now? What are they doing?
None of us really knows all of what's going on, but this is what we do know, and that is that Senators Reid and McConnell, the two leaders in the Senate, reached a tentative agreement which has a number of points. The two principal ones are that the government would be reopened under current budget limits until sometime in mid-January. And the debt limit would be raised temporarily to sometime in mid-February. And in the meantime, space would be made and time would be made for a standard type of budget negotiation between the two houses to try to come up with a full budget in more or less the normal way that used to be done.
A budget for what
there are
year?
Other details,
what year are we talking about?
We're talking about this year and the first part of next year.
All right, so 13. Right? Because we're so far behind in our bills now, so they have 13, first part of 14. Okay.
Well,
so
that's what these temporary reopening of the government would cover that, and the temporary extension of the debt limit would take us until sometime in February. That's
okay.
What
and then they would look forward then to do another budget for maybe possible.
Well, look, the important thing here is that if they can't get together and work out all these differences and come up with a spending plan going forward, we would be basically back in January to where we are with regard to the government in danger of being closed again.
Okay.
And we'd be
so they're buying themselves a little time. The pinheads are buying themselves a little time to try to work out something.
In the meantime, the government's open and the debt limit's extended, and all the scare talk about default will presumably stop.
Okay. Now, no Obamacare on the table in any way, shape, or form, right?
No, there's a tax that's apparently in this agreement that the labor unions didn't like. It's called a reinsurance tax, and that would be either postponed or canceled. We'll have to see.
Do you know what that is, reinsurance tax? I have no idea.
What I know is it costs union members something every month, $83 or something like that is what I understand to be the case. But I'd like to see this in a fuller context before I. All right,
so there's a little picayune thing that the unions don't like.
Well, don't be surprised tomorrow if we find out more about this plan. But I think the broad contours are just exactly what I've described.
All right, but all of the chaos the last few weeks about funding Obamacare and the mandate, that's all gone. That all goes away.
No. Well, Bill, remember, this has first got to get through the Senate, and then it's got to get through the House. Right. And there's no certainty it probably could pass the Senate.
No, but I'm talking about Reid and McConnell, their discussions. We have no indication that there's any give on the single person payment or anything like that. It's probably not even. They're probably going to avoid it. Is what they'll probably.
Yeah,
do.
That's right. I think that's right.
Right. All right. So that they're putting on the shelf, and so they basically buy themselves a little time. Obama, the president, will go along with it. So they'll push it back into 2014, and we'll have to go through this again. And what's the essential thing? Is it all about for the Republicans lowering the amount of spending, and for the Democrats, they don't want to lower it? That's what it's really
remember,
about,
there's a couple of things. One of the things that's in play here is what's called the sequester. As you know, this is a restraint on spending.
Yeah, 10% has been cut across the board.
Right. Cut across the board, that's right. And what that has affected so far is that government spending from astronomical levels has gone down the past couple of years because of this.
Yeah.
And there's a new round of sequester cuts that's set to take effect early next year. So
Good.
that's looming out there. The Democrats would like very much to have those cuts lifted. And it gives the Republicans some bargaining leverage as they try to work these other things out.
Final thing. I think it behooves the GOP, the Republican Party, to basically let the Obamacare go out and just have the American people be so stunned that they would make gains in 14.
I have believed for some time that there's so many problems with this program that trying to block it unsuccessfully inevitably unsuccessfully was a terrible strategy. That if it went into effect, it would likely prove problematic, certainly in the near term and perhaps in the long term for the Democrats and the president.
All right, Brit, thank you very much. Next on the rundown, how did the national press report on the denial of benefits to military families? Was the coverage fair, balanced, or biased? Bernie Goldberg with the scorecard. Moments away.